you consented to come and be with us for about 5 days, starting March the 22nd for our regularly scheduled meetings. That's 11 to 1 o'clock is a landlord group. And as I understand it, you're going to 11 a.m. and we're going to be at the Scout Center for 2 days.
Okay.
2 days. So don't go anyplace else when you're in Des Moines. Everybody else know this too. We're back at the Scout Center. Don't go to the Holiday Inn. Don't go to the Sleep Inn, but go to the Scout Center because Mike Butler is going to be there for 2 days. Now tell us what we're going to learn from you in just those 2 days, because the second day is all day QuickBooks. So I'm going to let you take control and talk.
So let's start on Tuesday. Tuesday's the big day. Is that March 22nd? And we're going to have a luncheon meeting at the Scout Center. And the focus of that is going to be landlording on autopilot. And I'm going to give you a few tidbits and a few things that's going to help you, show you that you truly can get over 100% of your rents paid consistently every month. And this is going to be a small group, so we're going to have a ton of Q&A. And so make sure that you've got your notebook with you, you got your crayons and your sharp ink pens, okay? And this is for you. And so this is my way of giving back how real estate's been wonderful to me, my local REIA group. You know, that's why I'm getting to talk to you right now, Andrews, because of a group just like yours. And I got introduced to that, excuse me, pretty good while. I got to get me some water. So I had a wasp or what do you call them things? A little buzz bee, something.
A little gnat. I'll get a little
dingleberry or something.
Coffee break.
Yeah, it fell down in my throat. Sorry about that. But so at the luncheon, that's like, did you say 11 to 1?
11 to 1, yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll have good food, good conversation. We're going to talk and discuss landlording on autopilot. You're going to bring in your questions. I hope I got some answers for you. And this is all for you. And then that evening is your regular monthly meeting. Isn't that right now, Andrew? And so that regular...
That's for the REIA group, the entrepreneurs.
Okay, so at that monthly meeting, I think it begins somewhere 5:30 or so, time-wise?
5:30.
Okay.
And yeah, don't be late.
No, I'm going to be there. Now, get this, okay? Check this out. I'm going to teach you how to buy real estate without banks, without money, without credit, without private lenders, and without partners. Okay? This guy here, okay, I discovered real estate and kind of tripped over it while I had my full-time job as an undercover police detective, and I wanted to do things that would supplement my police pension. So I just thought, just growing up in a blue-collar neighborhood, you know, if I could buy a little house on my paper route that I had when I was a teenager and fix it up, get it rented out, somebody else pays the rent, I put a little money in my pocket, it's supposed to go up in value, at least that's what we thought back then. And then it gets paid for by the time I retire. Holy cow, I could double or triple my police pension. And here's what was cool. I only had $1,000 in the police officer's credit union. My wife was in nursing school, was married, had 2 daughters, and guess what? Just like today, if you wanted to get a loan from a bank to buy an investment property, they want this thing called a down payment, right? So they want 20, 25% down payment. I didn't have it. So if I really wanted to get in this game called real estate, I had to figure out how to do it without going to banks. And I did. And so failure was not an option. And so I just figured out ways to buy real estate. Now, let me nip this in the bud. I'm not talking about doing land contracts or options or anything that's shady or gray, under the table stuff. I would have a closing, get the deed, have title insurance, and buy and own that puppy, okay? And then I set a goal to buy 100 houses while working my full-time job. I fell short, only did 84 that first year. And 56 of them, I added rental houses to my growing portfolio. That was kind of neat. Never went to a bank to buy an investment property. Isn't that neat? No private lenders, okay? No partners. That's pretty cool. Well, my partner was my wife in the IRS, okay? But that's pretty neat. And so I just continued that. And it was phenomenal. Then Money Magazine heard about it. They did a story on me. Then somebody asked me to write a book. And the next thing you know, and then what we're focused on a little bit earlier was the investor book stuff you're talking about, that full day of QuickBooks we're going to have. Well, when I was buying all these properties, working my full-time job, getting involved in my local REIA group and stuff, I really couldn't manage it with milk crates and shoe boxes and beer cases and manila folders and ledger and, legal pads. Gosh, you'd pull your hair out. So I had to have a system that would allow me to grow safely so I could keep my finger on the pulse of my business, to know where every red cent, every penny was going on expenses, capturing every red cent of income, capturing, just having an efficient, lean, mean, money-making machine there. That kind of sounds like an infomercial or something, but it sounds good. And so that's what I created.
Well, but yeah,
I created that for me, and so now you're going to get
an
opportunity to.
I've seen that system in action.
Yeah, but
I've seen that system in action, and I'm telling you, you have an organizational style that really does allow a person to focus on the business, get a good handle on it, and then you can just keep churning. But some people get started and it goes pretty well for a while, but if you don't have systems in place, oh boy, it can get out of control. So you were so wise to do that. Now, I know you're going to tell us a little bit more about how you got to be smart. I hope you tell us a little bit how you maybe did some things wrong, because there were probably a couple things, but why are you such a huge proponent of your systems that you have today? What caused you to develop this whole system?
Okay, I'm just going to be blunt, okay? None of these systems were created for Andrew, and none of these systems were created for other investors, okay? All of these systems were created for this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I get the system developed, okay?
All right.
And now, I also say this, Andrew, what qualifies me as an expert? Have you read the book Outliers?
Probably made all the mistakes. You maybe made some mistakes and then learned how to do it better.
I've made more mistakes than anybody else. So that's what qualifies me to be an expert there. So I created these systems for me, for my business, that allow my business to run efficiently. I can take a financial snapshot of it anytime I want, year to date, last year, 10 years, whatever, okay? Very, very powerful, and you've been hands-on with it. And having a financial background like you do, Andrew, I think you're pretty impressed as well, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. They do not teach you this in the MBA programs.
That's true. That's true.
The practical application of it, it's just great. You cannot. It's not QuickBooks out of the box. I guarantee you. This is QuickBooks tweaked for property managers, and once it's singing, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, to sum it up on the QuickBooks part, we'll get back to Buy Without Banks. This is the only complete system for real estate investors using QuickBooks Pro. Is that fair? Okay, so anything you could imagine doing in your real estate business, anything. Being a broker, having agents, doing IRA deals, doing options, lending money, borrowing money, wholesaling deals, buy, fix up, and sell deals, rental properties. Oh my gosh, it just goes on and on and on and on. So you can do all that. Now, back to Buy Without Banks. That's what's going to happen on Tuesday evening. And I'm going to share with you my system on how to do that. You're going to get to learn and memorize Mike Butler's Investor Pledge. And I promise you, if you implement that beginning Tuesday night, okay, you implement it then, you're going to get extra, I'm not going to say tens of thousands, but I'm going to say hundreds. And one phrase, that my Mike Butler Investor Pledge, when I implemented that into my business, it has made me over $1 million. Just that one little phrase. And that thing is powerful. So don't worry about having to, I'm going to show you how to find a motivated seller, how to identify a motivated seller in 90 seconds or less. And this is awesome. So if you're just getting started, or you're wanting to grow your business, you're wanting to get some good quality properties, what kind to look for, how to find properties that nobody else is looking for, but they're for sale. You're going to love it. I promise you, okay? We don't have time to get into all that now. I'm just doing, Andrew wants to share what to expect and what's coming up. And so all this is going to happen on Tuesday now. And Tuesday we got the luncheon from 11 to 1, Landlording on Autopilot. And we're going to have a short little tip thing, but it's going to be primarily a lot of Q&A, because we're going to have a small group there, and I want to answer as many questions as I can, okay? You got me there. Andrew, for the 5 days. And then that evening, we're going to have the monthly meeting, and that's where we're going to do Buy Without Banks. And you're going to learn how simple and easy it is. I promise you, you're going to end up just that little 75-minute session we're going to do Tuesday night. You go, yes, I can do this. Tell you what, if he can do it, I know you can do it. If I can do it, I know you can do it. And you know what? I love Fred Flintstone math. Use 3 fingers. I don't like using 7-syllable words, okay? And it's fun and it's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. So how's that, Andrew? Do they have to register for lunch or register for
I'm
the
finally
monthly
tracking
meeting?
with you. I stumble over the 7-syllable words myself, but
Okay. Do they have to go online and register for the lunch or the monthly meeting?
yeah. What we want to do is Mike's coming to town, and there'll be some information we send to people, but it's real simple. On Tuesday, you should have already pre-registered by long before then. And we're going to, this coming Tuesday, the 23rd, I think it is, of February, at our regular meeting, that's the best time to get signed up. Come hear a little bit more about what will be shared. That's really the best time. But we'll make sure that everybody has the opportunity. The early bird special, though, is very, very simple. For our members and for guests, for members, if you sign up, the early bird is $69.
So is this for
Now
Wednesday
that's for
night?
the full day on Wednesday.
I mean, is this Tuesday night?
Well, the Tuesday is a regular meeting. It's the typical prices for our lunch and learn and for our evening meeting. But Wednesday, the all-day workshop, that's what the early bird price for members is $69. Members with a guest, $99. If you're not a member, and we wonder you ought to be one, but if you're not, you could get in for $99. That's the early bird pricing. So real simple.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap here. So to go to the Tuesday, March 22nd luncheon meeting for landlording is a topic. Where do they go to register for that, or to sign up, or reserve their spot?
They go to our IaREIA.org. It's IaREIA.org. That's the normal website where our members go. They just click on a register now link, and depending upon when they register, then they get a little better price on that too. But that includes a meal at lunchtime.
That includes
so it's anywhere from
IaREIA?
Anywhere from $14 to $24.
Okay, so for the lunch, it's IaREIA. I need the website.
Yeah, IaREIA. IaREIA.org.
Is that on one of?
And they'll see it on the calendar.
Let me see if I can find this, because we're gonna. It sounds like EIEIO. Okay, and so
yeah.
IaREIA. Is that it? I'm trying to write this down so I can put this on there. So IaREIA.com?
.org.
Oh, .org. Okay.
.org.
.org. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the .com will take you to the Landlord site, but we don't register people there.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Okay, so
but the .org, and then Tuesday luncheon, Tuesday evening we got the regular REIA meeting, and we'll most likely have pizza that night. Then the next day we kick off in the morning at 8 o'clock. Get registered at 8 o'clock. Actually, it's doors open for registration 8 o'clock. But hopefully you're signed up long before then, because the after-door price is quite a bit more. Don't wait till then. Sign up this week, next week.
These things they're gonna sell out. When I do these full-day QuickBooks classes like this for real estate investors and landlords, these things sell out. And I want to point out this. This is Wednesday now, okay? And so, although me and you are investors and we're landlords, we got rental property, stuff like that, I want you to think outside the box for a second, okay? So imagine this: the only complete system for real estate investors using QuickBooks Pro. That's what it's designed. I designed it for me, okay? And then when other folks, well, it's a long story, but here's what happened. Then I simply cloned the system that I use in my business, And then my CPA started selling it to other investors, and then that's when the cat got out of the bag. But think about this. So who should attend? Of course, landlords, real estate investors. What about property managers? What about your bookkeeper? Right? Your bookkeeper is going to love this, okay? Invite them to come, and here's the way to do it. And I'll tell you this right now. How many times have Andrew, okay, and maybe myself, and maybe you that's watching this right now, how many times have you found something, and Andrew said this is the best thing since sliced bread, so you buy it, you take it to your office, and you throw it down and say, here's Sally, your bookkeeper, your little office person or what have you, and say, here, do this. How's that make them feel? Oh, no, now I've got another system to learn, a pain in the butt, and all this and that. Let me give you a big tidbit here on how to make that work, okay? Now, I assume, okay, and I want you to trust Andrew, I want you to trust Roberta. This thing works, okay? It's been around the block. We've got thousands of users all over the world, not just the United States. So invite your bookkeeper, invite your office manager, your part-time property manager or whatever, or your spouse or yourself or whoever's going to be involved in your business, including maybe your kids. What about your CPA, your accountant? Have them go in, and for $69, as a member, you can attend this all-day workshop. And if you get these folks to come in and you say, look at here, okay, John, you're my CPA, okay? I'd like for you to sit in here with this one-day class, okay? I'll pay for it, and I want your opinion on it. So then you take your office manager. So now you got your office manager who's driving. Okay, all right, see it. I tell you, it's live right now. Okay, is it live or is it Memorex? No, it's Andrew. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, so let's take your office manager, part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter. And so you have them attend this, and you tell them, I want to get your opinion on it. Okay? And then maybe your bookkeeper, you do the same thing. And I learned this. I learned this from a very sharp investor up in just north of Cincinnati. His name was John something, and I forgot. But anytime he knows that this is what's going to make his business more profitable, save him more time, more efficient, and give him more quality time for life, he has them go review it, and now guess what their attitude is when they see it? Oh man, this smokes what we got going on now. John, you ought to see this. Woohoo! Da 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 da. So now you get the system, they go back, they're fired up, and you don't need to sell them on it how wonderful it is. Isn't that neat? And they'll just implement that puppy themselves. I can't tell you how many times that has worked for investors, okay? And even if you're just getting started, okay, I want you to remember that as you grow your business. Okay, so on the Wednesday class, Andrew, we're going to have separate in two sections, okay? We're going to have one, and I don't want to hit you with buzzwords and stuff, but the first session is going to be how to keep track of what you own and what you owe and your income and expenses, okay? That's what that's going to be. Everything from buying, selling, closing statements, when you refi, when you sell a property, when you buy a property, when you do one in your IRA, you refinance a property, of course, paying bills, tracking expenses, rehabs. I got it. You push one button, you get a rehab report right now that shows how much you spent on that puppy right now to the penny as it's happening instead of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, months later. Wouldn't you like to know that while it's happening? So maybe you could make some adjustments. Oh, cut back. We're going to not do windows on the back side right now. We're running too close to what I had my budget as, or we're running over budget. And I'll give you a tip here. Never, ever tell your guys that they're coming in under budget and they're ahead of schedule. You know why? They'll high-five each other like that, and they will slow down. Okay? Most of the time they run over. We all experience that. Okay, so you never ever tell them that they're ahead of schedule.
I can imagine.
Always tell them they're running behind. You got to go fast. You got to go faster, because that's going to help make up for the ones that they always run over on. Okay, so that's a pretty good tip. And then we're going to have lunch, and I think Andrew's including lunch with it, aren't you? No, yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
yes, we sure are.
Lunch is included for $69, guys. Okay, then after lunch we're going to get into the landlording side, the property management side of how this can drive not only tenants, okay, this is going to be your machine, your software program, and it's using QuickBooks now. And that's where you're going to keep track of all your tenants, your move-ins, your move-outs, charging them for all those things, work orders and tenant chargeable repairs. You're going to actually get paid for them, guys. I'm not kidding. It works, okay? What about if you loan money to people? Well, if you loan money to people, you're going to put that in there too. How about a tenant, like one of mine, true story, dumped the bean soup in the toilet. Ham hock bone gets wedged in it. So the guys go out there 3 times to try to fix it. I said, take that toilet up and see what's in it. They found a ham hock bone in the toilet, tried to get it out, cracked the toilet. Now we got a $600 bill. New toilet, plumber's charges, blah, 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 blah. 3 trips out there. And so we charge the tenant for it. Does the tenant have $600 to just pull out of their pocket and give you? Not normally. Not if you got a Aunt B.
Not too often.
Not if you got responsible tenants, okay? Yeah, if you got dope dealers, sure, they probably would. But anyway, let's not get into that. We want to get good Aunt B, Andy Taylor, June and Ward Cleaver, okay? Those kind of tenants. So odds are they don't have $600. So what do? You set them up on a payment plan. Now they become a loan customer. So now they got their $600 loan account with interest that they make payments on in addition to their rent. And don't try to get $100 a month. They can't afford that. Make it a win-win. I don't care if it's $25 a month for 27 years, okay? I'd rather have nickels coming in all the time and all these things compound and add to each other, and I hope you're loving this. All right, what else you want to tell them there, Andrew? Uh-oh.
Well, I want to tell them that
Let me hit the
what
pause
if you're a
button here.
beginner, what if you're intermediate, what if you're advanced?
Okay, I got to hit pause for just a second here. Okay, all right, Andrew.
Well, I think we were just finishing up the tenant tracking, and I was asking you a question about, so let's say you're a beginner or intermediate or seasoned. Wednesday, it's about investor books. I've been able to do accounting for a long, long time, but doing it with QuickBooks and doing it with a system that's tweaked particularly for investors and for the tenant tracking, it's not the same product. And yet, as I understand it, there's really no custom programming so that you don't have to worry about are you out of sync with Intuit. Is that correct?
Intuit,
So you'll never be out of sync. So if you want to do an upgrade.
Okay, so here's
What?
Intuit is the makers of QuickBooks, guys. So here's what it is. Let's say you get it on a disk. We got it downloadable. We got it on USB flash drive. But if you were to get my system, just think of this. I actually went to Office Depot and bought QuickBooks Pro. Okay, and I started using that back around 1990 or 91 because I blew up a little program called Quicken. You heard of that? Quicken?
Yeah.
The personal financial stuff. So I blew that up.
Sure.
And then the makers of Quicken told me to go get QuickBooks Pro. So I went to Office Depot and got that off the shelf, and it looked complicated and cumbersome. And so I just dug in and figured it out. And what I basically did is created a company file just for my business. You see? And so that's what I was using. I would not share it with anybody.
Yep.
I would not share it with anybody in Louisville. Zero. Because now they would be my competition.
Yes.
Okay, so I liked it. I liked being King Kong in my own backyard. Okay, so imagine this. So let's say a landlord, a burnout investor, or maybe settling an estate, and they had 15 or 20 properties, okay, that they wanted to unload. Well, with my system, that's no problem. I just bang them in there and boom, off to the races. I could add another 150. Imagine this. Remember when you were getting started and you found out about a great deal and it might have been 15 or 20 properties, but you're thinking, oh, crap. I'm not sure that I could handle that right now. That might be too big a bite for me to take. Okay, this will totally eliminate all those fears. And so now you got a system that you got faith in. Your CPA is going to love you. You're going to save money at tax time. And so come in, take that for $69. Bring your whoever's involved in your business, your accountant, your bookkeeper, office manager. No need to bring in maintenance guys, okay? None of that. They're not involved in office operations, okay? But $69, and I promise you, you're going to get a ton of information. You can just simply go back and turn them on, make a couple of adjustments, and you're up and running and saving money, making money. That's what it's all about. We want to have fun, don't we? Yeah, okay, so all that happens on Wednesday.
Yeah. So now we could just call that it for today, or we could touch on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We can do that probably quick. There's going to be a lot more detail, folks, on that, and we'll discuss with people that are at the meeting and maybe through subsequent emails. But just if you would briefly share with us, Thursday, you're on probably lunchtime. We might have you on for a little bit to talk about what you're going to say in the evening. You're our keynote speaker on Thursday evening. And folks, if you want to know about the next 2 days after, you want to be there Thursday evening for sure. But long before then, we're going to have some absolutely outstanding training all day long. But Mike's just going to put a little icing on the cake on the end of the first day and get you fired up for the trainings you're going to offer in buying without banks and
all kinds.
Tell us a little bit more about what you're going to do.
Okay, so it's going to be a little more than icing on your cake. It's going to be major gravy on your taters. Okay, that's what this is going
to be. Okay, all right.
Okay,
yes.
So what's the name of this event? What's the name of this event, Andrew?
Well, it's go deep, go long, and go strong.
Now, and this is what, a 3-day summit, a 3-day expo? What do you call it?
Well, it's the Iowa REI Expo 2016.
And this is for
it's our major event for the year.
Okay, so this is for real estate investors, landlords, property managers. You got anything to do with the real estate market, this is a place to be. So in addition to me, Andrew has got lined up some fantastic experts, guys. Everything from IRAs to buying HUD houses to equity trusts. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. Rubs, you're going to have a Iowa Cold 562. That's 3 hours of some kind of continuing ed training for realtors. So you guys mark your calendars for this, and it's going to be 3 full days, jam-packed of stuff that you can use. Okay, bring your partner, bring your spouse, hook up with a fellow investor. Okay, and make sure that you mark that calendar down. And there's special pricing on that, but I'm just going to give you a quick rundown, okay? And if it's okay, this starts.
Well, I just want to mention, you mentioned that Realtor CEUs. We have 4 hours on Thursday for Realtor CEUs and also for Iowa Certified Housing Professional credits. But you're training on Wednesday. Actually, we're trying to get you approved through the Iowa Real Estate Commission for that to be 6 hours of Realtor continuing education units.
Wow,
so
we didn't even
it's going to be
them.
Yeah, it's going to be dynamite because realtors need to get so many hours, 36 hours every 3 years. Plus, we're going to offer 6 hours of certified housing professional because we're so committed that people need to know how to keep their books in order. That's one of the things that property managers, real estate investors, they get in, they get going, they get some momentum going, then they have some confusion, and first thing you know, their taxes aren't done, they don't know where they're at, they don't know the P&L, they don't know if they're making any money or what, and that's why it's so important to get started on a right system. That's why we're having you come back after 6 years.
That's cool. And I forgot to add this too. I'm a broker also. I'm a realtor. Okay, I don't think those things are fun, but I do have agents in my office. My old private banker now is my sales manager for my real estate agents. Okay, so I don't like doing listings. I won't do them. I hate them. I don't have the patience for it. But for brokers and realtors and real estate agents here, oh my gosh, this does that too. So make sure you mark your calendar for that Wednesday workshop on QuickBooks. But getting back to Thursday, the 3-day expo. Okay, it starts out like 7:30, doors open, and you're going to have a lunch every day. Andrew's going to feed you, and I see just different topics. I'm looking at this: CTS cleaners, screening tenants. Home Depot's going to do a presentation. Hammer Point, showing you how you can save money at Home Depot, get more discounts. The IRAs I talked about, financing is in here. You're going to have a big legislative reception. Now, folks, I'm telling you right now, in today's world, our biggest challenge, I guess, okay, to this generation of investors is government. Government just keeps getting bigger and bigger with more rules and more this and that, and everything that they can pass on, thinking that they're passing it on to investors and landlords, that trickles down to our tenants. So it's not good for anybody. So that legislative reception, we've nipped a lot of stuff in the bud with having our legislative our government affairs committee at our group back home doing that. You're going to have a wonderful reception then and dinner that evening, okay? And listen to this title that Andrew's come up with. Super successful folks do the same thing, and now it's your turn to do it and dig in. And you'll be surprised. I'm not talking about giving 140% effort like the Energizer Bunny. Sometimes as you're cranking along doing like this, all it might take is a little 2 or 3% little extra polishing over here, and holy cow, the floodgates open, okay? And that's what I love doing, okay? I love building those systems. I'm going to show you what you need to do every day, okay? And it works, okay? Want me to give you a tidbit on that right now, Andrew?
Absolutely, go for it.
Here's an example, okay? When I teach and speak in teaching groups around the country, one of the things I do is I'll say, okay, who in here wants to be a millionaire? And they'll stand up. Of course, every group's always got their already millionaires and multimillionaires. But as you know, we like to help people. We want them to turn into future millionaires and multimillionaires. So who wants to be a millionaire? They stand up, okay? Now, repeat after me. I am a millionaire. And you know what they do? They go, hey, I'm a millionaire. Okay? And their confidence level is down the tubes. They won't say it with confidence. Okay? One of the things you gotta do, folks, believe it or not, if you want to be a millionaire, guess what you gotta get used to? You gotta get used to calling yourself a millionaire. Not in public, but just within yourself, within your family, within the folks that you network with, and accept that as a very achievable goal. 20 houses, $100,000 houses, guys, or no, $100,000 houses. That's $1 million. Okay, so it's very achievable. So I want you to repeat after me, and then we go in there and we raise it up. Okay, I am a millionaire. Not I'm going to be. I am a millionaire. I want you to repeat it to yourself and say it loudly in confidence in the bathroom. Every morning you look at your mugshot there in that mirror, in the shower, and just repeat it after yourself. And what you're going to do is you're going to brainwash yourself into believing that you are what? I am a millionaire. Okay, that's just one little exercise, one little tidbit of the many that you're going to get in that keynote presentation we're going to do there on Thursday evening. All right, we go to Friday here, Andrew. I'm looking at that. Doors again, once again, they open up at 7:30, and we've got how to build cash flow empire, best in tenant screening, today's legislative issues. You got Charles Taschel there with National REIA, and he's all over the federal stuff, guys. Make sure you ask him about bed bugs. There's a lot of things going on there with bed bugs in your properties and stuff, and we've got action that we can take now. You got a buffet style lunch coming up with vendors and prizes and all kinds of stuff, and we're going to have a vendor. There's all kinds of door prizes, booby prizes, just everywhere you turn. Any room you go into, boom, expect a booby prize. Here comes Andrew with another one. So keep all your numbers handy, okay? He's got some wonderful prizes that are coming your way. How to own real estate without mortgages. Real e-flow lead generation. How to generate leads and get motivated sellers to come to you. That's so much easier than to spend money on stuff that may or may not work. Okay, it's pretty cool. We're going to have a big landlording on autopilot session at 3:00 that's on Friday. Dinners, awards. They're going to have an auction coming up. He's got a magic show. Okay, and I've heard that Andrew's going to be a guinea pig for this magic show. So if you want to see Andrew get hypnotized and run around,
we're sure hoping. That's tentative at this point. We're getting everybody lined up. We got it on there, tentative.
Making him nervous here. Okay, then we go to Saturday. And look at here. We've got Apply, Connect, and then the CIC. Tell me what that is, Andrew.
CIC?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's our exclusive offering here in Iowa for tenant screening and background checks. That Dan Firestone's the vice president of a 30-year-old tenant screening company, so they've got a good handle on how to keep the not so good tenants out of your properties and make sure you get good quality residents, because so much of a landlord's success is dependent on the screening and getting the right people.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right there. So eliminate the riffraff, and Dan's going to help you select cream of the crap. Okay, so
yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, and then you're going to go into an absolutely outstanding portion of it. I see something on down there. Well, I don't want to jump ahead, but 11 o'clock, you're going to teach people about how to buy without banks. And
Yeah.
to me, you know, all this other stuff is a great lead up to that anybody can be investing in real estate. I hope that you get us all fired up at that session. But tell me just a little bit about what you got started again. How did you get started?
Okay.
With next to nothing, and you're a policeman.
Yes. I was a police officer, then a detective, then I did long-term undercover stuff with a beard, looking like a biker dude, and I investigated murder for hire, contract killings, and organized crime. And that's pretty exciting for me. And I was on the bomb squad too, so that was pretty good. But anyway, on this how to buy without banks, money, credit, private lenders, or partners. Well, how about this? If you can find motivated sellers that other investors don't know about, wouldn't that be pretty good? I like to operate with next to no competition. So when you got the masses of investors, like what's going on now, chasing foreclosures and courthouse sales and auctions and all this other kind of stuff, they're one of 200 foxhounds trying to catch one fox. So when the masses run to the right, I like to walk to the left. Okay? And when they run to the left, I like to walk to the right and cherry pick killer deals. And I'll show you how to do that. And it's amazing. And it's not any fluff. It's not any hype. I've got Tiffany Hibbs. Okay, she, Eric in my office here. We had our monthly REIA meeting, and Eric talked to Tiffany. Tiffany bought my Buy Without Banks home training system, and she took it home. Well, no, she didn't even have it. She stopped by the office, picked it up here Friday. She went through it. Monday, she had a deal. She had already purchased her first one without going to a bank, without anything like that. And then her little video that she did, she wanted to tell me about it. She stopped by and tell me, wow, this is awesome. And she says, you know what, Mike? I want to have 18 properties, okay, before the end of the year. Well, we had a little coaching session after that. In 14 months, get this, Andrew, 22 rental houses, never went to a bank. That's just wow.
Oh, man.
So I mean, this is happening right now. You can still do it. Yeah.
And you are her trainer?
Yes.
You're her trainer.
Yes.
This is going to be awesome.
Yes.
So now she's some superhuman though from Kentucky. Maybe she's like American Pharaoh or something.
No, she's got a full-time job. She's a headhunter for a big medical outfit, hospital outfit. Full-time job. Still did this on the side. That isn't.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Well, you could be instilling some hope for even folks like me. I bought properties, bought them too quickly, didn't know what I was doing 35 years ago. I'm just excited to have you come back, because that's one of the things I really like about the Mike Butler way of doing things, is that you are building a solid foundation, though. This Landlording and Autopilot system, I've read just a little bit more here in the last few days just to get a little refresher. And that's one of the reasons that we'd love to have someone of your caliber and quality coming, because there's a lot of people on the circuit that tell you how super easy it is. You watch the Home and Garden TV, and they show the profit amount, $50,000. They don't really tell the whole story, or do I don't think they do. What do you think? There's a little more to it than that.
Well,
you get the thing cranking, and you've got a lot going on. You've got to manage it well, right?
Well, a lot of those reality shows, I don't know about the real estate ones, but it's been said a lot of those reality shows are actually scripted. So whether it's Survival or Survivor and all this other stuff. So and I know that I'll just leave it at that. Okay, I've been invited to do one, and I backed off. But anyway, here's the deal. Remember you're talking about the Landlording and Autopilot system, the QuickBooks, and this and that. I've had accountants and CPAs attend that one-day workshop, and guess how many of them said, "No, this is crazy. This is insane. This won't work." Guess how many?
Probably none.
Even the ones that had a negative attitude coming in the door. They said, "Wow, this is easy." Now it allows. Here's what it does. It allows investors and CPAs and accountants to speak the same language. You ever like sat down at a meeting
Yeah.
with your CPA and then they're talking all this 7-syllable stuff, and you're like, I don't understand all this garbage, and you just feel so daggone frustrated. I wish they'd make it simple. Okay, well, I am making it simple. Okay, and we've got proof all over the place, and you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to check this out and to see how it can actually change. Okay, your real estate business, your lifestyle, your quality of life. It sets the stage where you can literally delegate this. Okay, if you're doing this yourself and just getting started, just imagine ever how fast you want to grow. You can actually delegate this and say, here's how to do that, and you don't have to train them. They take the training material that, like Andrew has visited, and it's pretty simple, isn't it? Step by step. So good stuff. But anyway, we were back to Saturday.
Yeah,
Day 3.
it gets better. It gets better when you take the cellophane off of it, Mike.
yeah, that it does. Okay. So anyway, we've got a lunch. Then 2 o'clock, we got marketing, negotiations, filling your vacancies, screening tenants, and all of this combined, folks, kind of boils down to one big area that a lot of people have trouble in, and that's personal communication skills. You got to learn how to talk to people. I'll polish this as a detective, getting people to tell me things they should never tell me. And then when they go off to jail and go to prison, they thank me and shake my hand. Okay? So I'm going to teach you, okay? And they still call from prison and all. I've got 2 younger brothers on the police department. They still call looking for me. But learning how to deal with people, and, God gave us 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth. And if you use them in that proportion, you're going to have people like you, okay? And yeah, I'm bumping my gums a whole lot because I'm trying to give you a lot of information here, and that's what Andrew wants us to do. But I'm telling you, I'm going to show you how you can go out and practice this every day so that when you sit down in front of a seller or you meet with a seller face to face, phone to phone, you won't go, okay? And you got body language, you got facial expressions, you got frowns and this and that let your seller know that you're not confident about what you're doing, that you don't know what you're doing. And you're focusing on all this stuff. Oh, Andrew said I need to do this. Mike said I need to do that. Da, 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 da. You're ignoring your seller. Seller's the one that's got the problem. Okay, so just it's simple. It's amazingly simple. And you've heard me talk here for how long we've been doing this. Oh, my gosh. We're coming up on 40 minutes here. So if you like the style, you like... has anything sounded complicated so far, Andrew?
No, not a bit.
Okay.
I do believe that for some people, if you take this chunk of time and intensively focus on just being there and paying attention, taking good notes, that there could be a life-changing experience for some people.
Oh, I know it will.
Absolutely.
I always do. It's not the whole class. 85% of the people don't do anything. Okay? But I trust that the investors who really want to take action, invest in yourself and make changes and explode out of that rat race or wherever it is that you are. Okay? This will be a life-changing event. I'll never tell anybody to quit their job and do real estate. I didn't do it. Okay? That's just insane. That's a nut. Okay? What I want you to do is to have your real estate grow your real estate so that it produces more income than your job, and that allows for a safer transition. Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, so you're not going to hurt yourself and your family. It makes
perfect sense. Yes, sir.
Here's a topic here that I'm not going to explain, okay? And at 2 o'clock, somewhere 2 o'clock the afternoon of Saturday, I'm going to show you and teach you how to jump a loan. That's right. I've got a jumping loans technique procedure that is stellar like none other in the country. Okay, it's been reviewed by U.S. attorneys and Commonwealth attorneys, the people who put us in jail, put bad guys in jail, and they give it a thumbs up, a green light, and I love it. You got to do it this way. I don't know if it's Saturday. Yeah, okay, so then you're going to get a page here with all the vendors, those folks that invested in you, and they got discounts for you. They got booby prizes. They can make your life easier, make your properties like tanks. If you're going to do rental properties, do you want one that's going to be high maintenance and this and that, or would you like to make that thing as durable as a tank? So you just go in there and power wash it, and then let's get started again. Put another one in there. You like that?
It's great. It's great. And we are looking forward to having you come. Now, I understand you're headed out to the National REIA cruise again.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I'll be heading out doing that in the morning. So I'm in my office right now, as you can tell, and I've got my little lights on. Still got a ton of stuff to catch up. I've got my Skyline chili, which has been brought in to me. I'm going to be digging in that here in just a second. And life is good. We're going to miss you on the cruise, Andrew. Really going to miss you. I'm going to talk all about you.
Well, I've been on a cruise. In fact, that was the first time you did a little presentation or a pre-conference spiel. We did it together there on the cruise ship, and here we are 6 years later having you come back again. And this time I actually think I'm beginning to get Mike Butler and the power, folks, listen to me on this, the power of someone that knows what he's doing. He's walked the walk, talk the talk, and then walk the walk. And you have been doing this for a while. We've had Roberta McAfee, you mentioned. She did training for us last year in the spring. She's a student of yours. And we're becoming a QuickBooks training company for the benefit of our investors with this focus. So I don't know any place better to be in Iowa during that time, or in fact in the whole Midwest. If you're interested in real estate investing and you haven't gotten started, or if you're getting going and you're finding it to be a bit of a challenge, you want to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Saturday if you can do it. You will not regret it. I absolutely promise you, you will have fun. You're going to have great food, and you're going to have the most outstanding training that I know of in the whole country on QuickBooks Pro. Don't miss this. Mike, close it out and tell us what we're going to do in a month from now.
Well, you know, one thing that...
do it all again. Let's do it all again. If they didn't hear it, should we do it all again?
I got something to show you. Hold on. We forgot.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to get started right away, hook up with Andrew, and here's this puppy. I don't know if that's coming through backwards or backwards or not. Is it reading right to you?
Yes, it is. Yeah, okay. That's reading right for me.
Okay. So this is a book that I authored. Okay, I was telling you about that. It's called Landlording on Autopilot. Hit #1 bestseller, Amazon Business Books. And it's still selling like gangbusters today. So get that. You can bring that to the event, and I'll autograph it for you. We have like a little book signing. And that'll give you a head start to get a sneak peek inside of my brain, between my ears, get a better understanding how we deal with issues, how I solve problems, and they're amazingly simple. So you're going to love it. Thank you, Andrew. I've had a great time having this conversation with you, sharing with your folks. It's going to be coming.
Well, now that you mentioned your book, let me just say this, because we have a few people that occasionally think, well, I just go buy the book. I'll learn everything I need to know. And I tell them, let's say, for instance, you had an opportunity to go see your favorite rock and roll band, Willie Nelson or Taylor Swift or the Beatles or Tom Petty, and you had an option, folks, where you can buy the CD. Let's say it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You could buy the CD of the greatest hits of Tom Petty, or you could go downtown to the Wells Fargo Arena here in Iowa and you could see Tom Petty. You might enjoy the CD, but I'm telling you, seeing the concert in person, seeing this author of this book in person is totally different. You can't ask your personal questions from that book and get an answer. But when you have the author in front of you and you've looked at that book and you still have some more questions maybe, you're going to have that opportunity to be with the author, get up close and personal with Mike Butler. If you've ever, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we have
if you've ever been to a live concert. Yeah, if you've ever been to a live concert versus listening to the CD in your car, there's no comparison. So we're going to have a chance to be with the author. I'm absolutely excited about having you back, Mike. We're even going to order nice weather for you.
Oh, I would love
you'll
that.
have a good time.
Yes, I'd love nice weather. We're going to have some fun, Andrew, and I can't wait to see you in that magic show, buddy.
All right, well, that sounds great. Coconut shrimp and the best real estate training in the whole state. Iowa REI Expo 2016. Be there. If nothing else, come Tuesday, come Wednesday, and then make your decision. But I'd get signed up for the whole thing if you could possibly do it. Treat it like it's a vacation. Bring your family. We're going to have a good time.
Great. Okay. And now you're going to see places to go to register, to sign up, phone numbers to call. You're going to see that, and we're going to fade out. And I want to see you up in Des Moines, Iowa, that week of March 22nd, right? Tuesday?
Yes.
Beginning Tuesday, March 22nd, all the way through Saturday. That is awesome. All right. Adios, guys.
All right.
Stay warm. Stay dry. Bye-bye.
All right, Mike, have a great time. Thank you so much.